Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This is Cheryl with Person Centered Cyber. And tonight is our Security in the Black Cybersecurity News, which is news you can use. All right. So tonight we're talking about bag bounties. I have to have my notes on my phone tonight. We're talking about F.U.D, and you're going to hear what that is when we get there. And then we're talking about red flags in cybersecurity. So something that I decided to add, in cybersecurity job postings. Something I added today, and I put it on my community tab if y'all haven't seen it. We're going to talk about sex tech, okay? And that's going to be a segment that I'm going to call Cybersecurity After Dark, all right? So every time we do a Security in the Black, the end, we're going to have cybersecurity after dark, which is going to talk about, of course, it's still cybersecurity, right? But a different kind of cyber. Okay, let's see here. So let me go to, all right, I have to put some things over here so I can show them to you. I have to add some overlays. I'm so glad that StreamYard has allowed me to add more than one overlay at a time. Because I need to do a lot of them. Okay. All right, let me get my overlays in here, y'all. Okay, so the first topic is bag bounties. All right. I mentioned this in the last video, just very, very, very briefly. But so, of course, bag bounty is a euphemism for bug bounty. All right, and we know what the bug bounty is, right? Where I think it's HackerOne is one of these organizations where you hire individuals to come in, and organizations that they have an agreement with, HackerOne, they have their pen testers or ethical hacker, whatever they call them, to to test certain things that the organization has agreed to. Says, yes, we give you permission to test these things within these guardrails. All right, and they'll go in and they'll do it, and the organization offers them money, right? For some people, bug bounties are very profitable, and for their organizations, they're profitable because individuals are finding vulnerabilities and they're able to fix them. Okay, which is very proactive. It's a very proactive thing for them to do. Okay, so now Jen Easterly, I found something by Jen Easterly. She is the lady who is now the head of CISA, the Cybersecurity. What does CISA stand for? Infrastructure, something. CISA. Okay, that federal organization. Cybersecurity infrastructure? I know, right? Yeah. Security agency? Okay. You're trying to figure it out, child. Okay. Now, let me tell you something that she said. She did a video last week with I want to say it was Security Weekly. It may not have been. It was somebody. But what she said was that cybersecurity is now a kitchen table issue due largely to ransomware. Okay. And, what individuals have been doing in organizations regarding ransomware. And which is a good thing, because it is bringing attention to things that companies and organizations need to do regarding that, right? However, okay, that does not excuse the criminality of the way it's happening. Okay, I just want to make that very, very clear. She also said, which was very interesting, that the bar has been lowered. The bar is very, very low for the ransomware ecosystem, she said. Okay, so individuals who are now doing nefarious things online, you don't have to be, the greatest hacker or whatever. No, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is go to a DEF CON or something and, you know, get on these Vuln hubs and do this stuff and just do what other people have been doing. Okay, so the bar's low. So it's not just the professional people, you know, that are out there that we have to worry about. It's more. It's more folks, and it's happening more often. You know, these individuals, they start off as script kiddies or whatever, but they enjoy the thing that criminal hackers enjoy. You know, they enjoy the challenge. They enjoy the power that they feel when they're able to get into places where they don't belong. Okay, so that drives them to want to know and want to do more. Okay, unfortunately, and we're actually gonna talk about that a little bit more too. So and in addition to that, in addition to the low barrier to become a cyber criminal, there's also I'm sorry, not a low barrier. Is that what I said? Yeah, low barrier, right? So in addition to that, the barrier is low for cybersecurity professionals too. All right, on both of those sides. We don't have a rigorous process to get into cybersecurity like other professions. Okay, we just don't have that. All right. And she talked about empathy. Now, I'm not going to get into that here, but I definitely will in a next video where I'm going to talk about adversarial empathy. Okay, having empathy for the adversary. What does that mean? Okay. And I'm going to talk about what y'all think y'all doing when you say, because we've been saying things like a hacker since like the 2001, something like that. Okay. But I'm going to really talk about what that actually it means or is supposed to mean and what we can do with that. But she did mention it. Okay. And we in the profession are empathy deficient. Those are my words, not hers. Okay. Empathy deficient. Right. And we need to do something about that. So when it comes to the beg bounties now we're not talking about bug bounties anymore. Those are the legit programs that are working with organizations who have actually asked them, hey, listen, come do this thing and let me know if you find a vulnerability. If you do, I'm gonna pay you this amount for this kind of vulnerability, okay? So let me show you on Twitter. Now, I had never heard beg bounties before until I went to Twitter and I saw Troy Hunt's post. Okay, let me show you what he said originally. This is what I saw. He posted this. He said, hello, I'm Hamad, white hat hacker. I've identified a vulnerability on your web application, waiting for your positive response. Best regards, Hamad. So this is what he posted saying, I hate effing bug bounties. Beg bounties is what he said. Okay, I hate beg bounties. I'm like, beg bounty? What is he talking about? You know? So here he says, let me get over here. At the moment, you're asking for money without providing any detail whatsoever. I suspect this is a beg bounty. Okay, not a typo. Google it, he said. He telling the guy to Google it. And you've run some automated tooling that's found a relatively benign risk, the likes of a too permissive SPF record or a suboptimal response header. You've pulled the initial email address from my security.txt and without doing any actual work are now literally begging for a bounty. Okay? You don't like beg bounties, as you can see. Now, the thread is very interesting. Okay, he has over 100 comments on that thing, and it's very interesting. So let me just show you a few more people who had something to say about this. Okay, here's a few more right here. Jeff C says, seriously, this is like, I don't know, some rando going around a neighborhood, getting into and starting vehicles, then telling the owners, hey, I'm a mechanic. I know what's wrong with your car. So he's comparing that to the same kind of thing, you know, which is not okay. Can you imagine somebody just going around your neighborhood, some house just hot wiring your car and saying, listen, I found a problem in here. Are you going to pay me to, I mean, get the hell out of here with that. Another person says, this person, this is kind of like the devil's advocate, right? He's saying, I'm not happy with this approach either. If he's a scammer with no phone found, then go ahead and waste his time. I wouldn't call people trying to make money a beggar, though, he says. He sounds kind and sincere to me. I don't publicly humiliate a person asking to wash my windows for $1, he says. So Troy comes back and says, it's not that he's trying to make money. It's how he's doing it, creating fear and shaking people down for money based on trivial findings. Read the responses. It's crystal clear how people feel about this behavior. Okay, and this other person here says, step 1, call yourself white hat hacker. Step 2, perform unsolicited testing. Step 3, money. Okay. Now, most of the people on the thread did feel like did not like that, and they don't appreciate when people do that. Just going into a system unsolicited and saying, hey, listen, I broke in your house, but I found that your floorboards are loose. How much you going to pay me for what I found? You know what I mean? That sounds totally ridiculous. Totally. Okay. Now, Troy has a blog. Now, this is the guy who created Have You Been Pwned? Okay, that's this fellow right here. He has a blog post called Streamlining Data, Streamlining Data Breach Disclosures, a step-by-step process, where he gives information about how you go about reporting vulnerabilities that you may find. Okay, hey, Ayana. You said someone once sent me an email like this to my last company. A lot of people on the thread, they pulled up the guy that Mohammed, whatever his name was, they pulled up that same message. Like 5 people was like, hey, this guy contacted me about the same thing, Hey, Professor Black Ops, me too on the big bounty. I know, I heard you talking about that the other day, Professor Black Ops. It's not okay. And let me tell you, so and even what Troy has on his blog, I read it, and I'm still like, I'm like, it's still like, I don't know, because the thing that separates cybersecurity professionals from criminals, I don't care if you call yourself an ethical hacker or a pen tester or whatever. You're a criminal if you do not give attention and take the time to consider the ethics of situations, okay? Period. That's it, okay? That's what separates the men from the boys, all right? It's the ethical decision making. Now, so that's like, when I say the men from the boys, the men, and I mean women too, y'all know what I mean. I mean women, all that. Cis people, LGBT, whoever you are, okay? When I say that, I'm talking about these are individuals who are mature, like psychologically enhanced and able to really consider the different variables, okay? Versus people who are just choosing to go around like knuckle draggers, dragging your knuckles on the ground because you just don't want to be mature. You don't want to grow up. You don't want to take the time, to consider other people's experiences and how what you do impacts that, okay? The men from the boys, the wheat from the chaff, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about here. It's that ethical decision making that does that, okay? And if you just can't now what you're not going to do, okay, is get into a system that nobody asked you to get into, okay? That nobody asked you to do, and then be like, oh, I found a vulnerability, so now I got to make an ethical decision. Do I give it to the dark web or do I give it to the bit? Now, forget all that. You've already broken the law when you got in the system and found a vulnerability. Don't do that. Because they tried to make that argument. Okay. So I'm like, no. How did you get in there? Who asked you to walk through my front door? Did I invite you in the house? You're not going to break in my house and then come up, okay, I got an ethical decision to make it. No. You're not going to do that. Okay. That's the thing that got me, like, when I was reading Troy's blog, I was still like, Troy, I mean, I see what you're trying to do, but no, I'm not going. I'm not going. They skip all over that part. No. And the thing is, the ethics is not about right and wrong. That's not what ethics is, okay? That's why it's called a dilemma, right? So a dilemma is a situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two or more alternatives, especially equally undesirable ones. You got two alternatives here, okay? Either one, is something gonna turn out bad for somebody, okay? Now you got to call on your values, all right, and what the way that you feel like you can sleep at night, okay, to make this decision. Ethical decisions are difficult because it's not black and white. It's not this is the wrong thing and that is the right thing. So let me give you an example, okay, like from everyday life. Let's do this. Let's say, for example, you have two very good friends that you've known since elementary school, Bill and Daniel. Okay, now Bill and Daniel don't really know each other. Okay, you know this one and you know that one. Okay, so you have these two very, very good friends. Okay, Bill has recently met and started dating a wonderful lady named Helen. Bill is convinced she's the woman for him. Okay, and Bill has told you, Helen, she's amazing. I really love her. I'm going to pop the question. I mean, she's just amazing. All right. Now, one day you go out and you see Bill and Helen having lunch, and you realize, hold on a second, Helen is actually your other friend Daniel's wife. That's an ethical dilemma. What you gonna do? Huh? Bill and Daniel are your friends, okay? And I mean, you don't know all the details now, but what you do know is that Bill is smashing your other friend's wife, okay? So now you're in an ethical dilemma, okay? You can either tell Daniel, hey, dude, listen, or you can tell Bill, oh, dude, let me tell you something. That lady right there is, I mean, so what do you, and you know Helen, because I mean, you know that's your friend's wife. You know her, okay? That's a dilemma. Okay, let me give you one more. You're a coach, okay, of a football, basketball team or something, okay? And one of your players gets caught breaking rules that could lead to their suspension. But you know that if this person doesn't play, it's unlikely that you will win this championship, okay? The whole team is going to suffer if this person doesn't play. So what are you going to do? You say Helen is a 304 and I'm snitching. All right, there you go, Professor Black Ops. And that's your decision, right? So you have to call on your own values to say, what am I going to do in this situation? All right. So I know a CIO who didn't pay the ethical hacker. The hacker turned the vulnerabilities over to a tech publication. What do you mean the ethical hacker? Like, what was this, like they had an agreement or something, or and the CIO reneged? Or what was the circumstances of that? Or was it just somebody perusing the parking lot and hotwired a car and was like, hey, listen, I found this thing, you gonna pay me or what? Okay, because the thing is too, if you're in it for the security, then you're in it for the security. Okay, right? If you're trying to make a career of finding vulnerabilities, then get your ass over there to HackerOne or somebody that's doing that stuff. Okay. And we're really gonna get into that kind of thinking, okay, where you feel entitled to be able to violate somebody else's space, okay, that you feel entitled to do that. There's a whole psychology behind that, and I talked about it a little bit in the other video I did where I talked about the characteristics of a black hat, a white hat, and a gray hat. Okay, I touched on it, but in this next thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna see why you get a hard on every time you feel like you challenge to get into some place you don't belong. Okay, we're gonna really get into that. You said he was calling himself an ethical hacker, but tried to bribe the CIO. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Now, Jen Easterly, I don't know if you all have heard her speak before, but she spoke at DEF CON, okay, the past one that they just had, all right? And DEF CON, that's for everybody. So everybody goes to DEF CON, whether you're a criminal hacker, you're a white hat, a pen tester, or whatever, it don't matter. All them folks are at DEF CON, okay? And when she went there, she is a proponent, at least for the feds, for the .gov, okay, for the .gov space inside in the digital world. She is a proponent of anybody. If you got the skill, okay, come in here and let us know what's up. You know, as far as the federal government is concerned. I don't know if that means all organizations are going to have some kind of a bounty program. I don't know what all that means, okay? But she is definitely a proponent of bug bounties, okay? And just pulling, and not just hackers. She talked about academicians, all other kinds of researchers, like everybody, get them all together, you know, she's saying. Because the thing about cybersecurity is that is not just the federal government. This is because most of our infrastructure is private. You know, so it's a partnership. It has to be the feds and the private. You can't just do your own thing over here and we'll do our own thing over here. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, that's not gonna work. At least not for cybersecurity. Okay. All right, so that's beg bounties. Beg bounties. So the next thing we'll talk about in security in the black is F.U.D. F.U.D. Okay, and that stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Or sometimes doubt, you'll see disinformation. All right. Now this is all about, it's a tactic, it's a marketing or propaganda tactic, right? To instill fear in somebody, to turn them off from one product and turn them on to yours, okay? Professor Black Ops, you said federal NIST systems, you have to have a red team pen test every 3 years. Yep, for an ATO system. Yeah. It sounds to me, Professor Black Ops, like she's really aggressive. Like she actually said the status quo, like what we're doing today, the status quo that we got going on here, that's not good enough. Okay. And they actually, CISA just came out with, and I have to get on that RSS feed so I can see all this stuff. But I don't know if you've heard, Professor Black Ops, they have like 300 controls. Like it was 290, but now it's like 300 that she's about to put out there for organizations to place on their systems. I hadn't heard about that until she mentioned it in the video. I don't know what they are, and I haven't had time to really look that up. But yeah, but she seems like she's not down with all this. I mean, you do the regulatory stuff. There is regulatory risk, okay, and we gotta manage that. But she sees that's you know, that's not gonna do it. That's not going by on its own. That's not gonna work. Okay. It's almost like you almost hear the internet compared to like the immune system, and how the immune system in our bodies, like we have to do certain things to keep ourselves healthy, right? So when we're born, we have that innate immune system. That's like the compliance stuff that's going on, okay? It's just innate. It's the regular old run-of-the-mill immune. I mean, it does stuff, it works. But we also have another immune system that's adaptive, okay? That as we grow, as we go to different places, as we vacation in the Bahamas, you know, we go to Africa for Christmas or whatever, you know, that thing is adaptive. Okay, so it depends on where you are and what you're doing and how your health is in the moment and all that. You know what I mean? That's the security, the security part, the protection. Okay, the cyber, right? So you got the innate, but you need this other part that's adaptive. It seems like that's what she's talking about. Okay, we want to comply, yes, but that's not enough. Your innate immune system is not enough. Okay, you need an adaptive one. All right, that's gonna really pack a punch when a punch is needed. Okay, and your innate can't handle it. Okay. You said, hell, we can't do 290 controls now. I know, and she mentioned that too, because she talked about how, because she worked for the private sector too, and she was there when SolarWinds happened. She said, and she was like, you know, many of the things that we saw, and she was also at NSA, you know, her biographies and all that stuff, but this is like common knowledge, right? That a lot of the stuff that happens is a patching issue, you know. But telling somebody to just patch it, like what, something else is going on there, okay? Because if I could just patch it, I would just patch it. You know, so what else is happening in organizations where the little stuff, like the low level stuff, is just not being done? We need to look at that, like what's going on there, okay? Because number one, you cannot solve a problem where it is not. If the problem is not over here, why are you over here? Huh? The fire's in the kitchen. What the hell are you doing in the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? You can only solve a problem where it is. So we need to find out why, what's going on, that these low level things that seem to be the easiest thing in the world aren't getting done. There's an issue there, okay, that needs to be investigated and addressed, okay? All right. Let me see here. So fear, uncertainty, and doubt are disinformation. FUD is generally a strategy to influence perception by disseminating negative and dubious or false information, okay? It's utilized a lot in blockchain, I read, okay, and cybersecurity. We beat the hell out of FUD. I mean, we use that all over the place, okay? Fear, uncertainty. See, because what we're trying to do, every marketing campaign is the same. You're trying to influence decision making, which then influences behavior. That's what you're doing. There is not one marketing campaign in the universe that is not done for that purpose, okay? But so with FUD, you're just trying to do it with fear. You're trying to do it with lies, okay? And you're trying to sabotage your competition, okay? Instead of you just being the tire of choice or whatever it is you're selling, okay? You got to do all clandestine subterfuge, all this other stuff, right? To get somebody to pick you. That's pathetic. Isn't that pathetic? That's terrible. Okay. And I see this, so I told you guys that Dr. Phillips and I are working on these courses for the older adults in the community, right? FUD, these people use FUD on these old people all the time. Okay, they really do. They have they talked about technical support scams, okay, where you'll get a call from Microsoft technical support or something saying, something's wrong with your computer. I need you to do this, that, or, people are going to steal your information if you don't, allow me to get in there and fix all that. It's really terrible. I mean, it's awful the way what these people do. Okay. Especially to older people and people who really they're not cyber professionals. They didn't take IT courses in school, they're just regular everyday users. Okay. And they don't know any better. Also, scareware is a form of FUD, all right, which is software where you get those frivolous pop-ups. Malware was just installed. Press this link to install this useless thing that we have here, just trying to get your money. So that's a part of it too. Now, cyber is driven by FUD, driven by it. Okay. We talk about, hacks are inevitable. The attack is coming, is right around the corner. You got the dude with the thing on his head and the dark room and all that stuff. Now, is that true? Is hacking inevitable? Is attack right around the corner? Yes, it's true. It is true. Yeah, that's true. Do we need firewalls and antivirus and all? Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. What we don't need, though, is this frenzy of fear that we have going on here. Because what happens is you get FUD fatigue. People get sick of hearing that shit. Okay? They get sick of it. So they tune it out and they do what the hell they want to do anyway. If you're trying to influence behavior, it ain't working. All right? You don't need to be worrying about hackers around the corner. You need to be worrying about your developer who just went on GitHub to download to cut and paste something and didn't realize line 2000 got a whole what you call them, shell things. What is that? The shell thing in it. Okay, that's what you need to worry about. Reverse shell. Or your administrator in there working on something, just took something out of the box. Password is password, and he went on about his business. That's what you need to worry about. Okay. You worry about the wrong thing. But I know, like with marketing and advertising and all this stuff, people like, as far as the stories that we see, because we don't see a lot about what the good stuff that's going on, that our blue teams are doing, the wonderful things that STIGs are helping to prevent. You know what I mean? I know, right? What's a STIG? Like, we don't see that. We see, I watch this section on YouTube called the beef sector. Okay, where these people all day just going at it. It's always something. It's always something. And there are certain people in the beef sector who ain't they're not trying to talk about that all the time. Okay, like they want to talk about other things that are going on that have nothing to do with being messy. Okay. And if you look, like there's one guy that I listen to, he talks about politics. When he talks about politics, he got like 20 people in his chat. Okay. But he went off on somebody the other day. He had like 250 people up in there. Okay. Because that's just, we like drama. Y'all know people who just like drama. Ain't nothing can be going on. Like, everything is peaceful and nice. And here they come. Just drama. It's like, girl, you know what I mean? We know people like that. And some people just, they want to tell the exciting, juicy, the kind of story. Okay. So we read those things in the media and we do all that, and the good stuff that happens, we don't really get, we don't really know. Hi, Ayana. You said you watched some of Timothy Blaine's video you do? He hates Jay Wilson, don't he? He cannot stand Jay Wilson. I tell you the truth. What do you say, Professor Black Ops? Most companies got old software that you can't patch OS because it will break the APP. And what do you do for those organizations? Like, isn't there, what is that called in RMF when there's a control you have to do, but you can't do it? What is it called again? But you got to do something else. What is that called? Remember, what is it called, Professor Black? I think it's over the C. compensating control, right? Yeah. I mean, so there's something that has to be done. Okay. All right. So this is a really good report. Let me show you this before I move to the next section. It's very good. Okay. It gives alternatives to what we're doing. But it's from who did this report? Babel. I don't think it was Babel. It was something else. But it's called Creating Meaningful Commentary in an Industry Full of FUD. And they're talking about cybersecurity. It's very good. Okay. It talks about why we choose to fear monger. Okay, because that's what it is. It's fear mongering is what it is. Trying to get people to change their behavior so they can do what we feel is better for them, is better for the security of the organization, for their homes, for for whatever reason. Okay. But there's a more FUD works sometimes. We talked about that. Fear does work sometimes. All right. But it becomes like a callus when you do it too much. You know what I mean? So we need to start doing other things. We need to do something else. All right. And also there are books out there. The book by Tim, what is this? Not Tim. What's it? Ayana, you got me talking about some Tim. What is his name? Chip and Dan Heath. It's called Made to Stick. That is one of the best, I'm telling you, the best marketing book. And it's so interesting to have examples, from here to there. It's very, very, and it's very interesting. It's just really good. It's on Audible as well. It's very good. So those kind of tactics, those are the kinds of things that we need to use where we're not lying to people. Okay. Like you're not trying to, crap on the other dude so they can pick you for the firewall or whatever, there's just a better way to do this stuff, but we need to bring in other skills to do it. Okay. If you don't know anything about marketing, then you need to shut the hell up because you don't know what the hell you're doing. All right. Stop fear mongering because that's what you see everybody else doing. Go learn something. Okay. Other than how to, break into something or put on a stig. Learn something else so you can do your job better. All right. Red flags. So I told y'all red flags is trending on social media. If you type in Google right now, red flag, it'll pop right up. People are talking about red flags. And a red flag is just a warning. Okay, a warning about something. So red flags in cybersecurity job postings. There are some red flags for those of y'all looking for jobs. Okay, now let me tell you something about the jobs though. There are two types of candidates that companies they'll put you in one of two categories as a candidate. Okay, somebody looking for a job. You're either passive or you're active. Okay, a passive job seeker is somebody who already has a job. Okay? They have a job and may be really good. They're getting paid well, but they're open to look for something else. I mean, but there's no, if I don't get it, we good. I'm fine. Okay. Then there's active. That's active and look, I ain't got nothing going on, or I'm super unhappy, or I got to get the hell up out of here. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. Which one of those do you think employers prefer? Passive or active? Largely prefer. It's passive. They're actually looking for people who already have a job. Okay, for various reasons. That's not what this is about. But so if you are an active job seeker, okay, I'm really gonna need you to listen to this, okay? Because we don't want you to be so desperate, okay? And I talked about this in another video too. You could be desperate. If you're desperate, be desperate, but don't show it. Okay, don't be, Don't show it, and don't just take anything. I need you to pay attention to the job posting, okay? Because you might be going from the what they call it, out of the frying pan into the fire, okay? Not having a job would be better than what the hell you got yourself into, okay? So let's and I know a lot of you, some of you have probably read job postings that just totally turned you off. You were like, what the hell? There's no way in the world, I would work in this place, given what they've written here, okay? And I've read a couple like that. I'm like, who do these people even know what they're looking for? Okay, because the thing was written just weird. Okay, so the first one is the first red flag. Okay, I got 3 red flags for you. Okay, red flag that the organization you may be applying for, they really don't even know what they want in a security position. Okay. The red flag is the job posting makes no sense. Okay, the requirements. So you have a title of a SOC analyst, but the requirements are like what? Like what am I going to be doing? And so they're incongruent. They just don't. So go ahead and get that job post in the side eye, because that's telling you right there. These people, like, something's up. And a lot of what happens is when they're not sure. Now, I used to work in HR. I know these folks, they will go find something and cut and paste it and just put it in a thing, not even examining it. See, like, do we actually need this? Like, they don't take the time to do that. They just need to hire somebody. They need a warm body in a seat in 2 weeks. And, so they skip all kind of steps, And there's a really good YouTube channel. What is she called? Cybersecurity. All I see is green, like her thing is green. She's on LinkedIn too. She cybersecurity hiring or something like that. That's a really good channel. But I'm sure you could find like other channels about hiring people and all that. So she has really good tips and people on there to talk about what to look for in job postings and all that. Okay. But if you see something like that, that's a red flag. Okay. And if you end up applying and you get, an interview, you need to ask some really good questions, right? To make sure the job says SOC analyst, but it's telling me that I'm going to be, it looks like I'm doing risk management or other kinds of stuff. Like, can you explain that a little better? Okay. So make sure you do that. All right. The second red flag, again, SOC analyst, but when you read the description, 2 or more jobs, it looks like you're going to be the CISO, actually. Like, hold on, I'm getting paid. This thing is going to pay me $40,000, but I'm doing what? Okay, 2 or more job descriptions in the job. So what exactly? Again, don't know what they need or what they're asking for. Okay, that's another red flag. This is a red flag that if you get there, they ain't gonna work your ass to death. Okay, for $40,000 a year. Okay. So if you end up applying because you need a job, be sure you are asking questions and getting clarification. Okay. Let them know I need somebody to give me my what do you call those things? Performance standards, something. Okay. So they don't have you doing everything under the sun for $40,000 a year. Unless that's what you want to do. Okay, now if that's what you want to do that. All right, but I'm just saying it may be a red flag. All right, so you might want to go ahead and get them questions together for your interview. All right. And red flag number 3, the experience requirements don't meet the job level. Now this one was interesting, okay, because I read there was an organization that they were new and they did not have a security team. So they can't write, we're looking for, like, we're starting a new security team and we're looking for a cybersecurity engineer, but you're going to have to do everything. I mean, that's not, but they're starting new, like they don't have anybody. They don't have anybody, right? And they couldn't really afford to bring in what a CISO would be looking for, So they now for you, if you do end up taking a job like that, or if you do end up going to the interview and seeing, okay, they want to hire me for this, but it's a new team and I got to do all this, that's actually good experience for you. Okay, so you may actually want to do something like that, but you just need to be clear about, you say this, but you're telling me I'm going to be doing all this. All right, now just be clear about what you're going to be doing and when you can start to get paid better for the work that you're doing. Okay, you're bringing me in at 40, I'm going to take that. Okay, but 6 months out, after we have this team or whatever, we need to renegotiate the salary. Go ahead and talk about that kind of stuff. Okay, because something like that, where you're actually building a team from the ground up, that may actually be a really good opportunity for you. Okay, if you play it right. Okay, you gotta play it right. All right. Hi, Tyrone. What do you say? To achieve world government, it's necessary to remove from the minds of men their individualism, loyalty to family traditions, national patriotism, and religious dogmas. I like that. What are you saying that in regards to, Tyrone? Doro emblem. Yes, they want you to be many things to many things that are not related to your specific qualifications. Red flag, not to work there. Right. Unless you ask questions, you say, you know what? Okay, I'm going to take it. But at least you're going in knowing what to expect. Okay. Don't read the announcement. See, they're asking you to move the moon. Okay. You ain't got no equipment. All right. And then go in there and be miserable and complaining and all this stuff. Shut your mouth. You had an opportunity. Just either quit or go ahead and do the job. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we're getting to the cybersecurity after dark. All right. Self-sovereignty. Oh, okay, Tyrone. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're getting to cybersecurity after dark. Now, I want to talk, and in these sessions, I'm going to talk about things that you would talk about in a after dark room. Okay, and tonight we're talking about sex tech. Okay, sex tech, and of course, related to cybersecurity. Okay. So the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, has the 2021, they had their show already for 2021, and they came out with 79 gadgets and glimpses into the future, okay? And one of those gadgets is an advanced model sex toy. Let me show you what it is. Let me show you what it is. All right, if you're under 18, you may want to go ahead and click off, okay? Here you go. It's called Satisfier's Love Triangle. That's it, right there. I love that blue background. Pretty. It don't look like much, but it's $50. It's an air pulse sex toy. Air pulse sex toy, okay? And it won 2 awards at the CES Innovation Awards, one for the toy and one for the Connect app. All right. It's handheld. It features air pulse stimulation and vibration from an all-around titillating user experience, it says. Okay. It connects to the app for iOS and Android, where you can customize the vibrations. All right. And you can even set it to stimulate you to the beat of any song. The beat of any song. Okay. So you would be like, what? Alexa play what? What's a good song you could use for this? Alexa, play, child. You just be, you know. Okay, so that's the Satisfier, and it's $50. I don't know. Is that a lot? Is that a lot for a toy? I don't know. That's a lot or not. But let me read you some of the reviews, some of the Amazon reviews. Okay, here go 5-star. Somebody said, discreet yet perfect for relaxation, and always hits the right spot. Somebody else said, let's just say she was happy. Okay, and here's a 3-star review. If you're a DJ or a tech geek to the max, you may enjoy this. Despite my being tech savvy, I find this intimidating and a bit frustrating to use. And a 1-star said, don't even waste your money. Okay, so I guess you got to just try it out to see. Now, let me tell you, this is interesting. As I was looking up stuff for this segment of Security in the Black, what you say, elbow call? ISO, Professor Black Ops, ISO has just come out as of September 2021. ISO 3533 is the sex toys, design and safety requirements for products in direct connect with genitalia, the anus, or both. All right, you got a whole ISO about sex toys, okay? Because they connect to the internet. It's IoT, just like every other thing, you know, is IoT. So it came out September 2021, 16 pages. It falls under the ICS body care equipment category for the ISO, okay? And the ISO talks about the types of materials that are safe for contact with mucosal membranes, number 1. It talks about the tolerable range of vibratory frequency, okay? It talks about the need for flanges or wide bases on objects designed to be inserted into Uranus, okay? And some other stuff, okay? You got a whole ISO regulating how your vibrator works, all right? Yes, yes, ma'am, you do. All right, now let's look at some bad vibrations. Okay, so that's the toy that won at the last CES conference. Okay, now let's look at what can happen with some of these toys. I'm gonna show you another one right here. It's called We Vibe Jive. Okay, let's look at this one right here. Professor Blackout said, I need those checklists for my OnlyVerse room. Okay, now. Okay, no, bro, you said the other option, come hardened young killers, gang members that evolve into cold killers or other young Black youth. Absolutely. Like we definitely want to do that. But let me tell you something with that, okay? Because the way that we, let me get this vibrator off the screen. Girl, where is the damn thing? Okay, here we go. Hey, M. Gray. Glad I'm in time for the live. How you doing? Doro Emblem, you said that, is that you? Did you make that comment? Yeah. Let me put that back up there. Okay. So the thing with this, right? Because of and that's why I want to talk about empathy, okay? Because the way that we attract young people to cybersecurity is to show them the criminal aspect of it. You know, that's the thing, the hacking part. Let me show you how you hack, you know, do some password cracking. And they get excited about that. They feel powerful with that information. You know what I'm saying? If that young person is already in an environment where there is the possibility of what you're saying right here, for them to get involved in gang activity and you know, and all and now you are giving them the know-how that few people, like especially people that are around them every day, have. You have to do more than just say, oh, don't do this. This isn't right. Sign this pledge. No. We have to do more than that. If you want to entice them to come to a profession with security in the name, you're enticing them with the criminal aspect of it. No. What you're saying right here is 100% true. But for that to happen, otherwise, they're not going to go out there and pick up a gun. They're going to go get a computer, okay? Because that's way more lucrative. And they're less likely to get caught. That's what's going to happen, okay? So we have to be very, very careful when it comes to this. And this is why I have to talk about empathy. And adversarial empathy is what we need to really talk about to address what you're talking about right here, okay? Yes, there is another alternative, but we got to do it the right way. Otherwise, we're just putting a digital weapon in their hands, okay? That's what we're doing. Okay. Hey, Kareem, how you doing? What did you say? Y'all laughing, or that can be remotely locked, that take an emergency key to unlock have caused. Let me show you what these other things have done. Okay, Kareem, you're absolutely right. Oh, you said it was the wrong post? Okay. The US dark web, right? The dark web. Great. Organized crime profits a ton off of the internet, learning, offset, carding, selling substances online. Oh yeah. I watch Vice all the time, child. And these people here, Vice be in there, okay? they black out the faces or whatever, but they be in there, you know. And that other dude, when I talked about the ransomware, that guy, he works for, what is it called? Record, whatever. But he actually interviews groups, you know, and he writes about that. So yeah, they're in there, you know. And some of them, they talk about what they do, some of them don't. But a lot of them do. You know, they'll let you know what they're doing, and that it's simpler, it's easier, you know, for me to steal some credit card numbers right here from the comfort of my own home. I ain't gotta go nowhere. I'm doing my slippers and my drawers. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about some bad vibes. So I know, right? Let me show you the We Jive wearable G-spot vibrator. Men, I'm gonna get to you in a minute, okay? But this for my girls. There you go. All right, now this is a wearable device. So you put this on and you leave the house. You go to the grocery store, you go to Walmart, you know, go pick pumpkins or, you know, get your Christmas decoration with your wearable We Jive on, okay? So now the thing with, so this is $113. Okay, that's what this one costs. And look at this. I'm gonna go back to the picture, but let me show you the We vibration modes. Okay, you see all these different vibration modes. Look at a massage. I ain't even got it on, and I can feel what that would feel like. You see that? I think that would be my favorite, the massage. Okay, let's go back. Now it says, as a wearable device, the We Jive is prone to usage in insecure environments. So because you can leave your house with this on, you up at Starbucks, okay? Okay. Insecure environments. It says the device was found to continually announce its presence in order to facilitate a connection, meaning that anyone with a Bluetooth scanner could find the device in their vicinity up to 8 meters away. Potential attackers could then identify the device and use signal strength to guide them to the wearer. The manufacturer's official app would not be required to gain control, as most browsers offer features to facilitate this, okay? So, you know, to my girls in the chat, you're thinking about getting this or you got one or whatever, make sure we're considering the security, okay? It says the Vibe is highly vulnerable to man in the middle, as an unpaired jive could bond automatically with any mobile phone. An unpaired one automatically with a mobile phone, okay? A tablet or computer that requests it to do so, without carrying out verification or authentication. All right. This thing is dangerous. So you be sure you either got this thing paired to something, or when you go out, or just don't wear it out, or just wear it in your, like, do something, okay? But just be sure you do everything that's necessary to be sure that somebody. Now, y'all, what was that movie where that lady, she had on one of these, and she had the control, but it fell out of her hand in the restaurant, and a little kid got a hold of it and was just clicking buttons and stuff, like that could actually happen, right? But with somebody you don't even know, right? So all right, so that's the what is this called again? The We Vibe Jive. All right, now the next one is for the men's. Okay, this one for the men's. Oh Lord. You say, so when her kittens start to brew and smell. I don't know what you do. I guess that's when you get one of these. Ain't nobody else gonna want to go there, right? I don't know. I don't know. All right, let me now I don't have I did not put a picture of this thing for the men's, but it's a thing. What do you call those things that y'all be using? Oh my goodness. What is it called? So this is the Love Sense Max. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick to show y'all this off the screen. I don't have a picture of it right here for whatever reason. So let me just pull it up online so you can see it. It's a male masturbator. Okay, that's what, but I think y'all call it something else though. Y'all tell me what you call this thing. Here you go. All right, let me share my screen so you can see it. Uh-oh, I gotta put them on the screen. All right, here it is. Here it is. That thing right there, Love Sense. What is that? Y'all got another name for that. What is it called? They call it a what did they call this thing? What do y'all call that? Tell me what you, don't act like you don't know. Put in the chat what this thing is called. I forget what y'all call that thing. So this right here is for the men's, and it's also IoT. All right, so y'all got to be careful out there too, or in there, wherever you're using this at. What is it called? Somebody told me what it is. It's not a butt plug, M. Gray. A flashlight. That's it. Ayana said a flashlight. Ayana. Yeah, it's a flashlight. That's exactly. That's what it is. Autocorrect. All right, so that's what it is. And men's, it's designed for your pleasure. It's $100. Now this brand, Love Sense, is credited with, it says mastering the art of using, look, I gotta write this, y'all ain't gonna believe the name of this thing. Let me write this up right here. It's called, I'm gonna put the things you can see. Okay, that's what it's called right now. I put it in the chat. Teledildonics is an actual word. Teledildonics. It was somebody came up with this in the 70s. You see the middle of that dildo? Teledildonics. I said, girl, this is something else. So these people right here, Love Sense, it says they are credited with really, bringing teledildonics to the world. All right. Now, with this one, how much I said this was? This is $100. Okay. Now, what this does is it has the ability to synchronize with a remote counterpart, which means an attacker could take control, oh my goodness, of both devices by compromising one of them. Now, it comes with something. What is the other thing it comes with? I don't think I have the picture of that here. But it can take control. Is it over here? Oh, here it is. Male masturbator. That's with the phone. I guess there's something else in here that it comes with, that the attacker could take control of both of them. Okay, by compromising just one of them. It says, however, multimedia files do not include metadata when received from the remote device, and the app offers the option to configure a 4-digit unlock code via a grid of buttons, making brute force attacks more difficult. So that's good. Some elements of the app's design may threaten user privacy, such as the option to forward images to third parties without the knowledge of the owner, and deleted or blocked users continue to have access to the chat history. Oh my God, what the hell? Chat history, what are you? All right. And all previously shared multimedia files. I guess. LoveSense Max does not use authentication for BLE connections either. So a man-in-the-middle attack can be used to intercept the connection and send commands to control the device's motors. Who got time for all that? Who out there trying to hack into a flashlight? And for what? I mean, oh my God. Additionally, the app's use of email addresses and user IDs represents some privacy concerns, with addresses shared in plain text among all the phones involved in each chat. So while using a flashlight, I guess you're chatting with other folks. Ooh, child. Now, everything I'm reading about these things, all these vulnerabilities, the people who did this, they've already sent all these vulnerabilities to the developers, and these things have been taken care of. Okay, so don't go out there trying to, gift somebody with a flashlight, and then hack into it or something. It says, although security seems not to be a priority for most adult devices at the moment, there are steps individuals can take to protect themselves, such as avoiding using devices in public places or areas with people passing through, such as hotels. Okay. So this industry now, it's getting big, and it's going to get bigger. And now we have the metaverse. Okay, now you ain't gonna even have like physical stuff. I read they got like gel you put on or something. You program the gel to do something. It's just getting bigger. All right. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. Okay, because this stuff is included. These kinds of things are included, right? And people need to know about the vulnerabilities. And this is like whatever you're talking about in the chat while you got this flashlight going, okay, you probably don't want your boss or whoever else to see or to know or something. You know what I'm saying? So, let's be careful with what we're doing here. And the other thing that I read, which is very interesting too, is they said in this article, we cannot talk about the implications of an attack on a sexual device without also reassessing the significance of sexual abuse in the context of the digital transformation that society is going through. That's a whole nother discussion. Like it really, really is. So is it sexual assault if somebody takes over your device, and starts to make it do things that you don't want it to do? Is that now assault? Like, so our regulations, our laws, all of those things are going to have to be looked at again, for the digital world and the metaverse, right? For all of that stuff, It says the notion of cybercrime takes on a different appearance if we look at it from the perspective of invasion of privacy, abuse of power, and lack of consent for a sex act. Okay, very, very serious. All right. What do you say, Kareem? Please send the StreamYard link. You got to hear this. I don't have enough character. Oh, you want to get on? Okay. Dudes are get full sex dolls now. Oh, I know. Listen, number one, them sex dolls are expensive as hell. You may as well get you a wife from the Philippines or something. I mean, these things are so expensive, and like they're just, you're right, Professor Black Ops. I haven't seen, well, I have, that's not true. Most of the ones I've seen are not like connected to the internet or anything like that. But I did see a digital one. I don't know what it was capable of doing though. But yeah, so that's gonna have to be on one of the cybersecurity after darks. We're gonna have to talk about these sex dolls. Okay, and why the men dolls look like that? The women dolls are real pretty, but the men are like, but you know what it is? I think the men dolls they're advertising those to other men. That's what it seems like. Okay. Y'all, I've been doing the research. Okay. This is for the job. Okay, I gotta look at this stuff. You understand? All right. Kareem, I'm gonna put the link up here so you can tell me what's going on. Let me see. And anybody else, if y'all have any thing to say about anything I talked about for security in the Black tonight. Remember, I talked about beg bounties. We talked about what else did we talk about, y'all? We talked about beg bounties. We talked about computer ethics. I went into ethics a little bit. FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, or disinformation. These also for disinformation. And we talked about red flags and cybersecurity job postings. Okay. And then, of course, the sex tech. Now, the sex tech too is, and I'm gonna show y'all this for the next security in the Black. I have created oh, looks like I went away for a little bit. Professor, what you said, I'm going to do a full sex doll connected to the Onlyverse and sync them up, VR tech. Okay. Are you going to put that on the StreamYard? How are we going to do that? Hey, Kareem. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. I hear you talking, but is that a picture of you or what's going on?
I'm not sure what it's doing, but you can hear me, okay?
I can hear you. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, let me fix this. Okay, I'm fixing it, but you can hear me good, all right?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, let me give you the scoop of what's been going on in your backyard up there in Maryland, right quick. But before that, you're spot on. A point of reference that I want for you is John Oliver Tonight. He did a whole show on exactly what you're talking about.
On sex tech?
Yes.
Okay.
And what's funny about it is that wait, happy belated Veterans Day.
Oh, thank you.
Yesterday was our official day off. Okay. The reason why this is so funny and you have to see it to believe it is because there are people out there, everybody different and into some, freaky stuff, whatever. But what's going on is there are people who put themselves out there that charge people a certain amount of money to have access to those things and can control them.
Ooh.
And there are people who, that's what their business is. Like when you say who are doing, there are people.
Hold on. So you're saying that I get a vibrator and I pay somebody to do something while I'm wearing
it? Yes. It goes both ways. Yeah. Some people that pay like the kind of, I think the dominatrix S&M people that they do stuff to them. And then it's also people that get paid that let people do stuff to them. Like when I brought up the one that has the key, that one is funny because that one is popular amongst dudes. And a person can lock it where they can't pull it out or can lock it and make it vibrate. Wow. And that's a real thing. And I'm sitting here going, here's how it pertains to what's going on up there in Maryland. Well, people, and especially teachers, forget, listen, you're a professional person. No one gives a damn about your feelings, your pronouns. If you're around somebody's kids, here's what it is, okay?
Yeah.
all that information you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
you got about 40 people, a mixture of men, women, and all in between, who are trying to sue because all of the stuff they do, quote, after dark, has come to light.
Huh.
And you can sell tickets because it's worse than what you're telling.
Yeah.
You can get access to those live streams. And I think what make them mad is you get access to those live streams for free.
Mm.
You get access to the live streams for free. So I think that for the most part is what's got a lot of them all upset because they charge people to see stuff like that. And same things with those different mechanical things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is an entire section of Pornhub. And it gets worse. Cats in like Japan, China, Russia, whatever like that, they're able to control people's little things that stuck up their ass in the United States and vice versa. I was sitting there going,
oh my God.
And let me tell you the thing that when I said this, we was having a little meeting with that. And when I said this, you always got the ones that sus. That the first word it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, one of the investigators came over. It was like, you do know you shouldn't piss Kareem off when you tell you shit like that because you know the first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna pull your shit up on the screen. And then all of a sudden, I get me. I said, "No, I ain't gonna do that today. Right. I want y'all to know your business out there." And we was rolling because I'm telling y'all that what you're talking about. I'm glad you as a black person is actually brave enough to talk about this part because when I was telling him, I said, "You ain't got to believe me. We've been trying to tell people about." Quote privacy and this and other, especially I hate to say like this when they selling ass and pictures of their titties and all that stuff. You got no privacy at that point.
Yeah,
you got no privacy. Twitter, if I could get just $1 for every set of new titties that get sent to me a day, I would have a brand new house paid for cash over $600,000. And I'm not talking about soliciting.
That Twitter even had like porn.
What?
What ain't got that on there?
What? Let me tell you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They treat men worse than women unless they're fruity. If it's a dude, he throws up a dick pic. Oh, he's the worst person in the world. But there are a lot of women that are on Twitter that all they do is pose either their breast out or the see-through shirt, you can see their breast, or they're at the club popping, or they're sitting at the bar topless. That's been going on, I can say at least 7-8 years. And I'm talking about you can never get bored. You can, if you were that bored,
you could never get bored.
You could sit there and flip left and right for an hour upon hours. And his thing, never see the same two women.
Wow.
And I'm saying your state, Texas, Florida, and it's one more. I want to say Chicago. It's a new one almost every 30 minutes.
Wow.
And the thing about the quote plus size models, oh my goodness. When white women messed around and figured out if they can get a hold of their stomach and just have the hips and stuff, that was platinum. Man, look. You'll get links that'll say, do you want to control me?
What?
And these fools, these fools will put that little Bluetooth key naked on that link. So when you click that link, if it's not overloaded, you can do all kind of stuff. I won't get into it, but what I didn't know was I know they had the people that cosplay, that dress up in little animal things.
Yeah.
You hadn't lived till you get one or see one where they have one there talking about make me bark like a dog. And that little plug thing is how you make them bark like a dog.
Wow.
Oh. And
that is interesting. That's
you listen. Now listen, you're a mother. You're around my age. I know you done seen everything, but listen to me. It's some hilarious and horrifying shit that's going on. And I'm telling you, it's like this stuff you can't unsee. And you be so like, wait, these are grown ass. And then here's the thing, the age gaps. When you when you look at some of them dudes, them be old ass white men, and then sometimes they do old women and stuff. You be like, what the hell is y'all doing? I mean, don't get me wrong, when you hit that certain age and but I was thinking like, okay, here's what I said before I caught what I said. I said, listen, I don't think we need to, cause a panic, but I do think that when we talk to like some of the elderly people about this stuff, be careful ordering that stuff and using it, because nobody wants to get that unsolicited picture of grandma with this thing hanging out of her.
That's true.
Soon as I
add that to the chorus.
Soon as I said that, some little chick started weeping and whining and talking about they took advantage of her. And I'm like, well, what happened? She had one of those little toys. Somebody hit it and she had a heart attack. She didn't die, but she had a heart attack. And I'm sitting there like, why did you tell her? You in the wrong room to tell people this. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to go good from you next year. But bless her heart, she had that experience, okay? It will blow your... And here's the thing, here's something funny. You know a country that makes a lot of those things, surprisingly?
Who?
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Mexico. I think about when we talk about the sex dolls, how they move. You went from an era of quote the bucking, what do you call him? Bucking something. It was a dude that a chick could buy that he basically moved back and forth. But to keep it
like
it was called it was a male doll. It was called bucking something. But he actually around his hip area would move.
Okay.
What you gotta see is the one that can stand up and sit down. See,
that's some scary shit. I couldn't have,
And that's all it does. It's got these little braces. It's got these little braces on it that they tie to something, and it can stand up and it can sit down. And I'm sitting there thinking, what's the weight limit on this thing? Because you finna get somebody killed.
Yeah.
But wait, and then hold on. The other funny one is the one that it doesn't go by Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth and it's Wi-Fi. But here's the gotcha on it. If you don't pay one of those little sites to kind of manage it for you, it broadcasts out everything you're doing. What makes that bad? If you have a car that has Wi-Fi, your little thing will pop up like a TV channel. Going down Ronald Reagan, which is 17, had a chick that lets her kids watch little stuff like of the streaming. I think the name of it was Little Precious Playground or Precious Little Playground or something like that. She clicked on it. When the video popped up, it was this girl with about 4 of those things. I'll let you use your imagination.
No, I'm sure. Yeah.
Now you got a soccer moms stuck in Atlanta traffic on Ronald Reagan and trust to be up there having a hard time turning it off. I was like, oh God. So yeah. Thank you.
We have a lot of we have a lot of educating, I think. First of all, us being educated about it, because a lot of the stuff that I was reading and that you're saying right now, it's like, who knows that? Like all we know is that you can use your phone to control it. And that's like basically, as far as
it's
far
so
worse. Much educating.
It's far worse. And let me tell you something. This has been going on. I remember Facebook used to stop you from doing it about 10 years ago. Facebook, okay. Before Facebook Live took off, Facebook had a beta that let you do video. And I hate to say it, 90% of that before it got moved to like, I think it wasn't OnlyFans. It was something before OnlyFans. But Facebook used to let people live stream. And that was a whole thing. And if you friended the person, when you friended the person, a copy of the link to control their stuff, you would get it. And those little animal people, I ain't trying to be funny, everybody in the frequency shit, whatever. The reason why I don't trust their ass, because a lot of them had little stuff like that going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, and that whole bark like a dog and make me roll over and shit, all of that, believe it or not, was on face. Listen, everything I'm telling you is in the public domain. If you're that bored, you can look it up.
Okay.
This has been going on. This has been going on and getting people blackmailed, I can say, for about 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And I'm talking legit blackmail. I ain't talking about the Hunter Biden with people protecting. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, I forgot what that church is here. But it was this chick, you know those women that, life, supposed to be life coach, whatever, that's motivating speech, that's talking about how to live and all that.
Yeah.
Well, she was in one of those, and it was a black church, unfortunately. And she was doing a speech and going on, and she had a presentation where she do the big overhead. Not big churches have like the big projectors in the back.
Yeah.
Well, she up there, doing a little thing, and her little stuff started popping up. They were showing her practicing her sermons topless.
Wow.
They were showing her she had this thing that she called Aaron's rod.
Isn't that in the Bible? Aaron.
It was called Aaron's rod, and had Aaron's rod written down the side of it, and it could move. Suffice it to say, the conversation about her visit went on long after she left.
I'm sure.
And think about it, she really didn't know, because she was of the mindset, and I hate to talk about the Rittenhouse trial, but I want to talk about the part where the cop was talking about the software that enhances the video and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What he said is what I've been saying forever. Y'all may know how to use some of this shit, but you didn't write the program. You don't know what it does. You don't know what it is. You just know I click a button, I do this, and magic.
Right.
But then when we come in and we try to get you to explain, okay, yes, you can click the button, it's magic, but you see all that audio, you see all that video, you see these timestamps showing a pattern of when you're doing this, and showing, like you said, a location.
Mm-hmm.
This the part we're trying to warn you about.
Yeah.
And like I said, people have their way of making their money. Don't get me wrong. They make their money. I'm not going to tell them not to make their money if it's legal. Okay. But like I said about the women on Twitter and on Instagram and TikTok and all that, who are selling pictures of them doing themselves or want you to give them tips, stuff like that, you have no privacy.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't, because you're day in, day out inviting complete strangers to see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And we're not just talking about the dudes that pay to watch them, walk around. No. We passed that. Yeah. We're talking about what you're talking about with the little toys and mess. And I'm sorry my camera acting up, but I'm supposed to be getting. I'm working on that. It's just, I don't know, gremlins. But when I tell people, I say Florida has some of the worst domestic violence laws in the world, because they are made to protect prostitutes and strippers. Mm-hmm. They are, because that's how they get rid of Johns after they done hit him for a couple of $1,000, $10, or a sugar daddy that's been to throw them out their house. Mm-hmm. That happens a lot down there. But what is funny, true story, happened right down in Jacksonville. This chick pissed off the dude that was her sugar daddy. He remotely locked her out of that apartment. She just happened to have one of those little toys in her at the time. He didn't just lock it. He didn't send her the emergency key to get it out of her.
Wow, now that sounds like a assault. Like, that really does sound.
But wait now. Here's why I have to ask the question seriously. If you are taking money from people for them to do that to you, okay, and you get mad and say, I don't like that, or I don't like them anymore, or say, for instance, you through getting money from them anymore, at what point, if it's assault, if they say, you know what, I won't do it, I'm gonna put the key out in the wild and let whoever want to do it. You see what I'm saying about that slippery slope in the grass? Because for me, I look like this. They're paying you to do this to you. You advertise yourself as letting them do this to you. You're encouraging them to do this to you. At what point is that assault?
Well, it's not assault if you're encouraging and you're asking, but once you say no, just like in real life, we can go this far, but now I'm saying no, then it's no. And anything after that, that's done after the no, just like when we talk about with these, this forced penetration testing, it's no.
That you got. Remember, you're talking about two separate things. On forced penetration, federal and state law already got that covered. If you on somebody's stuff, you could be a felon just like that. That's what I'm saying. But when we talk about someone who, like you said, you got hours upon hours of video of them saying no, but they got say and trust me, they're not rolling in dough. They're getting $25, $50. If they're lucky, $100, $150, something like that. If you get like somebody who's a true fool, who that's what they get off on. In that case, that one person, reason why I say it, because when they do investigations and we track the money, that's what I've seen over the last decade and a half. It's not a group of people that's paying. It'll be one fool that in his mind or in her mind think, this person likes me, this person lets me do this to them, this person, and that's not what's going on. It's a business.
Yeah.
And when the money run out, they run out. And one thing that gets me that I find interesting about that, that's when all hell breaks loose. Because now, can you imagine giving somebody access to something that they can lock in your ass? Literally, it'll expand where you can't just pull it out.
Wow.
The one with the little foxtail on it that comes with the emergency key. From what I've seen, I haven't seen one in person in almost 7 years. But the new ones that had a little foxtail on it, take your ball up your fist. Hold your fist and ball it up. Now open your hands. Open your fingers. That's how far that thing is supposed to be able to open up inside somebody. Wait for it now. There are people that like that one. That one is that one is popular. And what hits me in the chest, I'm like, so a dude took this thing and walking around in public with it up his ass and gave somebody or giving random strangers or people that he paying him whatnot to open and close it and lock it. Then you turn around and got a fool, in my opinion now, everybody in some freaky shit or whatever, that pays somebody to do that to them. I'm like, y'all way too bored. Y'all got way too much money. Because I'll sit there go like, wow. Wow.
I think it's okay. I mean, that's fine. If you're not hurting anybody, you're not doing, if you want to a fist up your ass, then then you're good.
That's the part that get me. I'm like, so it's one thing when somebody paying you for you to let them do it to you, but it's one thing when you out there paying people to do it to you. Like I said, everybody does some crazy shit, but that's the part I got because like the one I saw was one that they seized at customs. Somebody that came back from, I think, not Caracas. What am I thinking on the California coast down there in Mexico? Cabo. Is it Cabo San Lucas? Cabo. They had came back with like just a trunk full of them, and I guess they're going to use it for resale. And it was honestly the one I saw. It went flat, kind of like a pencil, but it could ball up the size of a little baseball. You ever seen like the little kids t-ball baseballs?
Yeah.
Not like a regular size baseball, but like kind of like like that. It could go from the pencil to that, and then it opened up like a flower. And I was like, okay. And the reason why they called us, because they were saying that on some of them, it had bank information on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the bank information really was like, okay, you know how you have like those little gift cards that when you like say if you use it so much, they'll send you an email or something, ask you, do you want an actual credit card? And you find out that those gift cards are backed by like some crazy unnamed bank in like Iowa or Wisconsin or something like that.
Okay.
Well, short story form, people were buying those kind of like party drug people were buying party drugs. They're using gift cards to do it. And you could store like $100, $200 on that device to use it.
On the sex toy.
On the toy. You could actually, on some of them, they have a little bit of memory cache in it where you can actually store and keep, like, say, for instance, if I forgot what that service was, they shut it. It's changed its name about 7 times, but it creates an account and people put money on it and it stores it on that device.
Okay.
And you can, if you can get one and get it connected where what's that used? It used to have a little web page that would pop up. You know how you go into a network router and you type in something like 192.168.1.16.login or something like that, and then a screen will pop up.
Okay.
That's how it used to do it. Now they got an actual app that what it does is it pops up like it's a little business. It's got a logo, it's got fields in there, it's like that, it has little PIN numbers. And I'm thinking, Japan, they're bored as hell. Because the first time I saw any of this in the wild was in Japan.
Yeah.
And let me tell you though, Japan, China, Korea, they freaks, but they be into some stuff, especially with machines. And when they had the little Asian girl that could stand up, bow, and greet you, I said, we're in trouble. I said, I told her, I said, this ever gets to the States, it's going to be over with.
It's going to be over.
It's over.
Okay. All right.
But I will let y'all go.
Thank you for that. That was there's clearly a lot of stuff going on out there. And this just like scratched the surface. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. So I'll let y'all go, but thanks for having me on. I'll catch you later.
All right. Okay. Bye. All right, y'all. So I'm glad that we are doing this. So like I said, for the rest of the security in the blacks, we're going to have a cybersecurity after dark, okay? Because there's apparently a lot going on, okay, that we don't really talk about, in regular conversation, but that applies to the work we do. Now, for the next one, okay, the next security in the black, I already have some of the topics set aside that we're going to talk about. Now, the thing about the adversarial empathy, that's going to be its own thing, okay? Because I'm gonna need all my time to go through that. All right. But we are going to talk about some other things, and something that I found out that's very, very interesting that has to do with security clearances. Okay, you would never think that what you do in your bedroom could compromise your security clearance. Wait, would you? We gonna talk about it for the next one, okay? All right. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you, M. Gray. Thanks, Professor Black Ops. Kareem, thank you so much. Ayana, I was very happy to see you here. Doro Emblem, thank you very much. Who else was in here? Tyrone, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you, okay? And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. And if you're looking at the replay, please go ahead and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'm gonna see you back here next time. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.